Welcome back to another Explainer, Focus Learners. Today we're fundamentally rethinking how we look at tattoos. So often we view getting a tattoo purely through an artistic lens, right? We're obsessing over the design, the colors, the perfect placement. But today we're flipping the script entirely. We're going to dive into the clinical physics and the hard medical realities behind getting inked. We're taking that piece of art and transforming it into a serious clinical safety check. Because by the end of this explainer, you're going to understand why your medical history is honestly just as important as your artist portfolio.
Here's a quick look at our pre-tattoo health checklist for today. We're going to cover the anatomy of ink, the hidden medication danger, absolute tattoo contraindications, conditions that need medical clearance, and finally, why honesty actually protects you.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the anatomy of ink.
Okay, let's dive right into this. I want to pose this foundational question to you right out of the gate. What is actually happening to your body when you get a tattoo? It is so incredibly common to just think of a tattoo as a harmless surface drawing, kind of like painting on a canvas. But the clinical physics of it all tell a completely different story. Because this isn't a surface drawing at all. A tattoo machine is literally driving a needle through your outer epidermis and deep down into the dermis layer anywhere from 50 to 3,000 times a minute. Just think about the sheer physical trauma of that for a second. You are permanently depositing a foreign substance directly into living tissue. This is a highly intensive physical process where your skin's natural barrier is being intentionally breached over and over and over again. So in medical terms, tattooing is what we call a controlled tissue injury. It's a deliberate procedure and it absolutely requires your body to mount a normal, robust healing response. This means basic dermatological and wound healing reasoning has to apply here. The core clinical question you should be asking isn't just, hey, is this going to look cool? It's, can my body handle this controlled injury without an elevated risk of a nasty infection or uncontrolled bleeding? Because if your body can't mount that normal healing response, that expensive piece of art is going to heal terribly.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 2, the hidden medication danger.
I have to share this wild anecdote from Patrick, who's an industry veteran with 25 years under his belt. He talked about seeing a client literally bleed through a full bandage change on a really small piece, all because she was on a Pixaban, which is a blood thinner, and she simply didn't think to mention it. This perfectly illustrates the clinical physics of tattooing. When your blood is artificially thinned, the fluid dynamics of your body change. The blood will actually push the ink right out of the dermis during the procedure. The result? Patchy, super poor pigment retention. The client was super disappointed with the art, all because one crucial, hidden piece of medical information was withheld. And honestly, this brilliantly illustrates a major systemic issue in a lot of tattoo studios. A flawed intake question just says, list your medications. For most of us, that immediately triggers thoughts of heavy prescription drugs or antibiotics. People don't naturally associate their daily baby aspirin, their blood pressure tablets, or their mood stabilizers with getting a tattoo. But a targeted intake question, asking specifically, do you take anything for your heart, blood pressure, skin, or mood? That changes the whole game. It casts a much wider, smarter net to catch blood thinners, immunosuppressants, and biologics that physically alter how your skin is going to react to trauma. Now, here is an absolutely crucial rule. If you realize your medication might affect your tattoo, never, ever independently stop taking it just to get inked. Just don't do it. If your doctor puts you on a blood thinner, there is a very serious medical reason for it. Do not play doctor. You have to consult your physician, tell them you want to get a tattoo, and ask whether a temporary pause poses an acceptable risk for you.
All right, let's move into Section 3, absolute tattoo contraindications.
Let's walk through these absolute hard stops. A responsible studio will actually decline to tattoo you under these conditions, and it is entirely for your own safety. Do you have an active systemic infection? Your body's immune load is already maxed out. It doesn't have the resources to heal a new wound. Uncontrolled diabetes. That impairs your microvascular circulation, which drastically slows down healing. Bleeding disorders. Like we just talked about, your blood will physically push the pigment right out. And if you're dealing with recent chemotherapy or severe immunosuppression, your skin's integrity is heavily compromised, which skyrockets your risk for a serious infection. In these cases, the body simply cannot handle the trauma.
Section 4, conditions needing medical clearance.
Okay, so we're shifting out of the hard stops and into the proceed with caution zone. What if you have well-controlled diabetes? Well, your artist still needs to know so they can avoid areas with naturally lower circulation, like your lower legs, and monitor you for slower healing.
What if you're dealing with an autoimmune disorder like lupus or rheumatoid arthritis? The sheer physical stress of sitting in a tattoo chair can actually trigger a massive flare-up. Cardiac conditions might mean you literally need prophylactic antibiotics before the needle even touches you. And for pregnancy or breastfeeding, between the physiological stress and the potential infection risk to the fetus or infant, the standard medical consensus is pretty simple. Just wait until after delivery and weaning.
Now, what's really interesting here is probably the most undercommunicated risk factor in tattooing: a history of keloid scarring. This is where the clinical physics of skin tension really shines. Because tattooing is a dermal injury, the tattoo itself can sometimes become a raised scar. High skin tension areas like your sternum, shoulders, upper back, and earlobes are major high-risk zones for keloids. But we can actually mitigate that risk by just adapting the placement. By communicating this history to your artist up front, they can intuitively shift the design to a lower-risk zone, like your outer forearm or your calves, where the skin elasticity is entirely different and the risk is way lower.
And that brings us to our final takeaway in Section 5, why honesty protects you. I want every focused learner tuning in right now to really internalize this. Disclosure is not about being denied service. Being totally honest about your health history, your daily meds, and your skin conditions is strictly about giving your artist the playbook they need. It allows them to adapt their technique, customize your aftercare, or maybe even adjust the timing of the session to make absolutely sure you get a great, safely healed result.
Think about what happens when you hide things, whether you mean to or it's just an accident. You set off this dangerous chain reaction. Step 1, non-disclosure of a health condition. Step 2, because they don't know, the artist has an utter inability to adapt their technique or change the placement. Step 3, this leads directly to a massively increased complication risk for your body. And legally speaking, it typically voids the artist's liability under the whole informed consent framework. By withholding your health history, you are literally taking the entirety of the medical risk and shifting it right onto your own shoulders.
Look, a truly professional artist is always going to ask these tough medical questions before the needle ever comes out. Which leaves us with this final, provocative thought for you to carry into your next studio visit. If your tattoo artist isn't asking about your health, what else are they missing? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, guys. Stay curious and always stay safe.